You typically want to keep the level just to make sure it's plumb until you drive that nail home, but this also looks like a gentleman that's done this for quite a while. A little bit excessive on the bracing the posts when they're setting them with concrete. It's largely not necessary.
If you have the time and skills, you can save yourself a lot of money.
Well, you can and you can't until you start factoring your time and going through each one of those bins to try to find the straight materials. Today's video is brought to you by Nationwide Industries, the Fence Pros' #1 choice. And they're this Fence Pros' choice for a couple reasons. The most recent reason? Gate kits. They've paired their most popular hinges with their most popular latches in the most common post sizes to make it easier to grab and go. Also, as a consumer, it makes sure you know you've got the right hinge for the right latch. For example, if you've got a pull gate, they've got a pull gate kit just for you. It's got the Cornerstone hinge in it. It's got the Trident 20-inch. Both some of our most popular gate hinge hardwares. You've got a vinyl fence with 5-inch posts. They got you covered. They've got their Cornerstone 2 hinge. They've got the Keystone Traverse latch, which I love a lot. They've also got a handle in there. But if you have a vinyl fence with, say, a 4-inch post, they've got that too. All at Nationwide Industries. Check them out in the link below. All right, guys, so today we're doing something a little bit different. We've actually taken a group of TikTok videos, reacted to those, smashed them together, and created a video for you guys. It's something new. There's a little bit of everything in there. There's something for everybody. With that being said, let's get into it. Guys, you've heard me say it before. If you have a task that you're going to do 2, 3, or more times, such as line out the top line of the fence, create a jig. Now, this one looks like one that was bought probably from Mr. Fence Tools. It looks like one that they have. You can make these easy enough on your own as well, but create a jig so that the finished product looks incredibly professional. Let's see what it looks like. You typically want to keep the level just to make sure it's plumb until you drive that nail home, but this also looks like a gentleman that's done this for quite a while. Just like so. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below.
Our fence is made out of corrugated metal panels. We use 3 panels that overlap each other and they're secured to.
I really like this corrugated metal. We're starting to see more and more videos come out. We as a company have installed several around automotive recycling type places with great results. It looks really nice. It's incredibly secure and it saves a little bit depending on what type of fence you're looking at. I think it's a great option. Let's see how they do.
The wood posts that are cemented into the ground. We did the whole thing ourselves, so it's actually really quite easy. It took us a few weekends, but it is...
I think it turned out great. Now, the one downside is they're using wood post, so the current wood that's in the market we know has a lifespan of about 10 to 15 years, not nearly what you used to see in the past from wood post, but altogether, I think it looks great. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. So one thing, I like that he cut the post off after he put the rails up. For whatever reason, you still see guys trying to cut them off, maybe with like hacksaws or chainsaws after the pickets are up. You're making it harder than it needs to be. Cut them off with the rails. I don't love this treated pine post with treated pine rails. This fence probably has a lifespan of 10 to 15 years. Other than the material selection, I think it turned out pretty good. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below.
Tool roundup for fencing. I got a post hole digger and an auger, a shovel, a normal shovel, measuring tape, woohoo, and a rock picker that picks rocks. What do you know? Okay, and I'm eventually going to show you guys this really awesome level, but stay tuned. So, first thing you need to do, it's called 811 dig, y'all. You don't want to hit any utilities, so make sure you are calling and you're going to be
That's a great point. Regardless of which state you're in the United States, if you're digging a hole, you're required to call 811, which is also the state's dig right or dig safe. They'll come out, mark all your underground utilities to make sure you don't hit one. Now, these one-person augers, I understand the safety's gotten a lot better in them, but man, I tell you what, they can still be an absolute liability if they hit something hard. They also make the work incredibly harder than it needs to be. I'd pick up a tracked mini skid, a dingo, or something of the like. I would likely make this a lot easier.
The safe side. Then you're going to create a nice straight string line, and you're going to use your auger or your post hole digger to dig a 2-foot hole. Okay, 2 feet is a really good idea, especially if you live in a severe weather location like I do. I'm in Washington, and we get lots of wind, we get lots of snow.
So 2 foot, industry standard says 30 inch, but this is a DIY project. We're not following any sort of standards here. But being in Washington, she needs to be 6 inches below the frost line to ensure that this fence doesn't heave after 4 or 5 or 6 winters where the frost gets below the post and pushes it up and out of the hole.
That jazz. Anyway, once you're in there, slap on that $5 post level. I promise you it's the best $5 you've ever spent. And then I like to mix my fast setting concrete right in my hole. I use my rock stamper, or you can just use like a heavy stick or a piece of rebar and you mix it in. I like to do it in 2 different sections. I pour half the bag, water mix, half the bag, water mix, boom.
Mixing in sections provides for a more consistent pour. In a region that gets a lot of rain, Washington State, for her example, it'll actually wick a lot of that moisture out of the ground as well.
And freaking celebrate because the first one is done, and now I only have 45 more.
Guys, I think she's off to a great start. Let me know what you think in the comments below.
Welcome back to another day of fencing our backyard. If you're new here, we've been slowly working to fence our yard, and this side was going to be a doozy. My husband and I are installing 260 feet of fencing. Day 1 started off so strong, we got 17 panels done, and by day 2 I was feeling real wobbly. Note to self, don't skip leg day. We spent another 6 hours installing fence boards together and had the full 260 feet done by the end of the day. This must be the fastest we've ever built a fence together, because by the 3rd day...
I think it looks really nice. It looks like they're using a pre-stain product. It looks probably more like a pine than it does a cedar. Pre-staining the fence materials is the way to go. One, it makes sure you get a complete coverage of stain on all 6 facets of that material. But 2, you don't make a mess in your yard by trying to go in behind and stain it afterwards.
All we had left was finishing touches and dodging the biggest spiders that had taken a liking to the fence overnight. We added a top and bottom rail. We just like how that frames out the fence, and then post caps and solar lights for the vibes. We have so many plans to landscape this side of the yard. I can't wait.
I really like the cap and trim design. I think it adds a really nice finished look to this fence. I think it turned out great. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below.
Here is how much it will cost to build your own fence. You'll need 15 pickets for $30. 3 2x4 for $17, 2 4x4 for $20, and for 80 pounds of cement for $22, totaling less than $100 per panel. If you have the time and skills, you can save yourself a lot of money.
Well, you can and you can't until you start factoring your time and going through each one of those bins to try to find the straight materials. I mean, all of that was shown is treated pine, and these prices are consistent with treated pine. It's known to warp and twist, plus all of the returns, all the rejects go back on the pile. You got to factor your time in. And by the time you get them to the job site, realize there's a few more that aren't as straight as you'd like them. Go back and replace them. Do yourselves a favor. Find a local fence company that sells materials that are out there, and they typically have a higher grade or a higher quality material than what you'd find at a big box store. But if you're looking for the absolute cheapest way and you don't really care what it looks like, big box store might be the way.
Nice.
I like what they did here. So it's a horizontal style, but it's also board on board. Now they're using cedar material, so they won't gap as much as a treated pine. They still will, typically a 1/4 inch of board. They've overlapped them to make sure that it's completely private. A little bit excessive on the bracing the posts when they're setting them with concrete. It's largely not necessary. The gate bracing, questionable at best, but the pickets, they got really right. Like that they stained it also preserves the fence for a while. overall, the aesthetics are nice. Let me know what you think in the comments below. All right, well, let me know what you thought of the reaction videos in the comments below. And obviously, follow me on TikTok. For now, Joe Everest, the fence expert, reminding you that good fences make good neighbors, and I'll see you next time.